hopefully, a couple of minutes late, but hopefully that lighting in here, I tried to fix it, but hopefully that lighting in here isn't that bad. I'm going to ramble here a little bit, like I always do at the beginning. Talk about a few things before I start this. Hopefully I won't be I'll only be an hour long tonight. But they're always, you know, if you guys aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go over there and subscribe to that. You want to join that membership channel. I got a lot of good things coming out, especially during this time of year, because we are winding down on all the reviews. And when I do that every year, I usually start up with a lot of the nutritional, weightlifting. A lot of that stuff's going to go to that membership channel. So I'll be running that, pick up more volume on that than I do the bat reviews. I'm going to talk about some bats at the end of this video that we just got in, that are scheduled for the next, you know, depending on the weather here in San Antonio, it's in the mid 60s today. I think it'll be up to 70 on Friday, but I'll be out of town, so we won't be hitting. Problem we have here is whenever it gets into that good weather that we can hit in, you know, in South Texas, is it comes around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we don't hit 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon because we got a lot of shit going on. We usually hit, you know, anywhere from 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, no later than 9. So it's kind of hard this time of year. And you know, I'm in a jacket, a windbreaker, our sponsor for team for next year. Schooners, dang it. Schooners, which is Trey Roberts' place here in San Antonio. He's going to sponsor us too, and he's going to play. Trey Robert goes under the knife tomorrow. He won't be hitting with us for a while. He'll actually be rehabbing with us at as soon as we can. Probably get him into the cages. When he gets cleared to start hitting, it's in his right elbow. I know you guys watch behind the scenes, you'll hear about all that stuff. He's got some nerve pinching in his right elbow, a little bit of a corporal tunnel syndrome in his hand too. He lost the strength in his right hand, his nerve in his elbow. So they're going to go in and try to relieve that pressure on that nerve in his elbow. Has surgery tomorrow. He's real positive. I talked to him today. I actually met him today and talked to him a little bit this morning. He's real positive about it. He'll probably chime in here in a minute anyway, because he's getting ready for tomorrow. So hopefully he has a successful surgery, because, you know, he's the guy that's part of that puzzle that I have with all of our players, and we're going to add 2 more for next year. So Trey come back and get better, and he's, you know, he's one of those guys, like I said, you know, everybody plays a role, and he's one of those guys that with senior softball bat reviews that plays that role very well. So he goes in tomorrow, and I'll give you guys updates on that. The reason I'm doing this video tonight is because I'm a guide at the Baker 3 Ranch. I actually help them out whenever they get a lot of guys in, and I'll go out there. And if you're part of this Facebook, you'll see a lot of pictures that I post. You know, a lot of you guys, whenever you watch, and I talked to my wife about this earlier, a lot of you guys, when you watch these outdoor channels, because a lot of you guys up here are are hunters, you know, that play softball. And I've hunted since I was 9 years old. A lot of my food in my freezer outside is venison, buffalo meat. I have some Watusi out there too. It's a African steer, African bull. Yeah, I very seldom do I go to a grocery store and buy meats. All my meat is Axis meat. Very little whitetail. I love Axis meat. Elk meat, things like that. So I feed my family, all of that, you know. A lot of you guys watch this on weekends on Outdoor Channel, and you think that guiding is all this fun shit. I was up there for 4 days 2 weeks ago, 4 days last week. I get 3 hours of sleep a night. we are constantly, you know, not only guiding, but we're constantly butchering and cutting up animals. Baker 3 Ranch, Rock Springs, Texas, 20,000 acres is what we hunt on. It's a big Axis ranch up there. A lot of guys call me and ask me, hey, can I get in? You know, I want to buy a hunt. Well, she's booked up this year and next year. That's how good this place is. And we, me and my son actually lives out there. I'll be leaving. I just got in yesterday. I got some stuff together. I downloaded some videos because I don't get that good reception out there. And I'm going out again tonight, and I'll be there till next Tuesday. And then I'm done. They got bow hunters coming in after that, and we don't have to guide bow hunters because they do their own thing. But guys, it's tough. It's, you know, because you gotta, not only do you have to butcher the animals, you have to debone them because they can't take them over state lines with bones in them. So, but it's fun. It's only for 4 days. My hands hurt so much from cutting up animals. But it's fun. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to that. Want to join that membership channel? Got a lot of stuff going on over there. Facebook, of course, if you don't want to be a Facebook friend, you can join Facebook. Going right into that is, I have a senior softball buy, sell, and trade that I need to talk about you guys for a little bit. Now, I don't want to get too long into this. I've been having trouble, as everybody out there that does a buy, sell, and trade, is, guys, be aware of who you're buying shit from. Off this channel, I had a guy that messaged me about 10 days ago, and I was at the ranch, and I got this text, and he goes, how's it going, Dave? And he said Dave because my name is David on Senior Softball Bat Reviews on the channel. And he goes, I'm in a bind. That was a big one. I'm in a bind, and can you lend me $400? You know, and I'll pay you back tomorrow morning. And this guy was a softball player. I looked at his profile picture, and I'm like, and then I did some investigation, started going down further, and he had limited friends. He had limited pictures of him playing softball, and that was a red flag for me because I always do that. Anybody that actually tries to get in, you know, a lot of times I miss a lot of people, but anytime you try to get in or friend me, I'll actually stalk you and see where you're coming from. And my thought is, don't ever, and I didn't do this, but don't ever lend anybody money that you don't know. And if you do, you just say you're giving it to them. If you're that person, don't expect anything back. So be aware, because it happened to me, and that's the first time that has happened to me. A total stranger that plays softball allegedly actually asked me for money. Do not send these people any money. You know, guys, they're just scammers. They're out there to take. And then you have all this, you know, Patty Albright is helping me out here because I'm a rookie at this. So she has a lot of channels that she actually goes through. She knows a lot of people that are scammers. So she'll actually get them off there, because I actually made her administrator of that site. You know, I begged her to actually take it over for me, to actually scan it and go through it. It's going to be a very good site. It has blown up. I started it same time I started Facebook, and I probably had, you know, 5 people that were followers on it. Now it's up to almost 2,000 just within the last 2 months. There are bats that I'm going to put, instead of going on eBay, there are bats that I get done with that I'm going to start putting up there. I'm going to start talking on there a little bit more too. A lot of my videos are going to go on to that. You know, not only are they going to go on a Senior Softball Bat Reviews page, because I have that too. This is Senior Softball Bat Reviews, buy, sell, and trade. Chatty will be helping me out with making sure that a lot of these guys aren't fake. And it's hard, but you guys got to watch out for that shit too. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. When you have one of these up there, you know, selling for $200, and this is an OG, you got one of these up there, and it's in great shape too. You got one of these up there selling for $200, $300, then that's a red flag, because they're more expensive than that, especially in that shape. And no, I'm not selling it. It's just out there to just for me to hit, compared to other bats that we have out there. Only me to hit whenever we're doing a review. So guys, watch out. And another thing too is on that page, we are not going to do, because a lot of people try to take over and try to do a raffle on it. I'm not a big believer in raffles. Tell you what happened to me. And this was from a pretty good buy, sell, and trade, senior softball buy, sell, and trade channel. I hated raffles. Well, the owner of the channel kind of talked me into, hey, you know, $10, $20 here, and, you know, you can buy, you know, into this raffle. So my favorite numbers are 10 and 3. And my wife's number 2 is 11. So I got in, and boom, 10 hit. So I got a bat out of it, and I met him up, I think it was in Vegas, and he gave the bat to me. And then I got in another one. JBI threw one, and my number was 10, and it, boom, it hit. Well, I re-donated that because it was for Greg Cerner. I said, let it ride, you know, raffle it off again because it's for a good cause for Greg Cerner. And it had cancer, and they're trying to raise money for his family. So let that one ride. Okay, now here's when the bad shit happened. So I got in on another one. I didn't win, and I got in on another one, the third one, and it was buy, sell, and trade. And I texted him. I said, here's my numbers, 3 and 10. And all of a sudden, boom, 3 hits. Well, I was like, shit, okay. But I didn't get a phone call from him. And then he said someone else won. And I said, no, 3, number 3 is hit and 3 hit, you know. Well, what he did was, when I gave him his numbers, he did a thumbs up, like they give you okay. And he already got the money. I sent him the money. Well, 30 minutes after I put my 3 and 10 in, somebody else put 3. And he gave them the bat. Well, I was pissed. And I go, no, because I put my money in first. See, it's all of, and this is how come I didn't get into this shit, because it's all of who they want the shit to go to. And I don't know if this was a friend of his, or maybe Dave Velasquez didn't deserve a bat because he has a shit ton of bats. So let's give it to the other guy. Well, it doesn't matter. I was going to give the bat away anyway, or give it to somebody to raffle off for a good cause, or give it away to people that need it. So that kind of pissed me off, you know, especially when other people are going, you should have given that to Dave because he was the first one to call 3. And then that was it. I deleted his channel. I deleted him as a friend because I don't like that, because they can do whatever they want to do. He can do whatever he wants to do. That's fine. I just won't participate in it anymore. You know, if you're going to run shit like that, that's how come I don't want to buy, sell, and trades, because I don't want people to take advantage of you guys out there on my channel, because I know that shit can be done. If I'm not running it, then I'm not going to approve it, because I'm not going to screw anybody. So I just very weary of people. That's how come I want to tell you on that channel, just watch out. And I know it's growing, you know, hundreds every couple of days. I know it's growing. I'm just telling you, beware. This time of year, a lot of people are looking for bats for next year, not necessarily hitting them. So they actually want to get new or trade somebody for something. You know, just do your research. Look into their channel, look into their page, look into whatever they have, their Facebook page, and just do some research. Look down. If they don't have a lot of content on there, big red flag. You know, if they engage, actually ask somebody. I've had people actually message me and say, do you know this guy? He says he knows you. And I'll give him a thumbs up. He's good to go. And I back that with my shit. You know what I'm saying? If it goes wrong, then I'm going to give this guy a bat. So I back people up through, hey, you know, I feel good about this. And if it screws up, then I'm giving you a bat. So, you know, yeah, but I got to know you. I got to know you. So I've done that a few times, and I did know the guy. So I said, yeah, he's good. He's good to go. So just be aware that channel is going to get bigger. I've got plans for that channel for next year. Like I said, I want to change stuff for next year to make it bigger, because it has gotten, this year was the biggest year that we had with senior softball bat reviews. Next year, there's going to be a little bit more changes. There's going to be a little bit more stuff added on to behind the scenes and my YouTube channel, membership channel. There's going to be weight distribution numbers on all of my reviews now, on what the weight distribution in that bat is going to be. And guys, going into that, you know, I'm not going to talk about everything because I'm actually getting long-winded in doing this, is whenever I call a bat, and I tell you because it all goes, I'm the last person. I have 8 or 9 guys. Well, actually I said 8 or 9 because Mark Reeves doesn't hardly show up anymore because of his work. And then he's a fishing guide in South Texas, in the coast, Gulf of Mexico. So he guides a lot. So fishing. So he kind of tapers off the end of the year. So I got 8 or 9 guys that actually give me input. But when it goes through you guys, I'm the last one. I actually say what goes or what doesn't go, or I kick shit out. But that's just because when you have something like this, you build something like this, it all goes through me. I'm the last person to say, hey, this is what I think and this is my theory. I'm not going to say this is what these guys think, right? Because they all run it through me. All of my guys run it's just not me. They all run it through me. I said, something, you're right, Chino, or you're right, Trey, or, you're right, John, Clem, Charlie Mueller, Mark Reeves, Bubba. I probably left out a few. And I have new guys for next year coming in, 65, 70-year-old guys. But when I'm here talking to you guys, it's me telling you. Whenever I talk about weight distribution in bats, I think that's the way of the future. A lot of people don't really understand it. A lot of people really don't believe in it. And I understand that. But don't try to fucking convince me that I'm wrong. Okay? And I talk about bro science too. Okay? You have science, which I was just talked to about 2 days ago on my channel, and talk about inertia. You start talking, okay, that's the science. I understand that, Chad. That's the science, right? But there's such thing as called bro science. Let me explain to you about bro science. That's actually hearing the science, and I'm a firm believer in bro science. You hear the science, you hear what people talk about how to build shit, and then you put it in your hands and you start swinging it. When every one of my guys says this bat needs more ass, that's why I made my decision on that bat, Chad. It's not because you're giving me all this talk about all this other shit. I understand that part. But you can't put, because the handle's thin on there either. Weight distribution is weight distribution. Doesn't matter how thin the handle is. Handle just means bat speed. You got thinner hands, better bat speed, higher bat speed. Thicker hands, not so much. More control with thicker hands. Less control with thinner hands. Wobbles a little bit in your hands, but you got better bat speed. So I can sit there and talk to you about this, but this is my decision. I ain't changing. When I make a review on a bat, I ain't going backwards. I'm just telling you that I've done a lot of research in this. When all of my guys are saying this feels like a balanced bat, that's bro science is what that is. That's what we do. You can put shit on pen and paper, but okay, I read it. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Now I'm going to test it. Enough of that. The bat is good. I don't understand. The bat is badass. I'm talking about this bat, guys. Right here. A badass bat. Just has no ass to it. It is a badass bat. And that's a 27.5. That's a 27.5. It has no ass to it. That's bro science. I hear everything you're saying. I understand that part. I get it. But we do bro science too. We do both of them. Like I said, guys, it's going to be a good year. It's coming up next year. I have a few guys that I guided that actually are fans from Florida that watch my channel. And they came out there and they look at me like, holy crap, man, we didn't know you were out here. So a lot of guys that play softball, and they're actually playing league ball. A lot of those guys are playing league ball. One guy about 15 years ago, Trey played a little bit of conference ball. So I got to have a good time talking to those guys too. Okay, shaving bats. Gonna jump right onto that. On shaving bats. I hope, and I did hear something through the grapevine that SSUSA is finally doing something about shaving bats. I heard somebody, and I'm not going to call out a name because I'm not really sure. This is just, and I'm going to do some more research. I heard somebody got banned for 5 years for shaving a bat and got popped by SSUSA. Now, that's pretty good because when's the last time you heard SSUSA pop somebody for shaving a bat? I hope that they would at least do some checking next year. You know, checking for in cap separation, checking for maybe, you know, I don't know if I would go as far, I would go as far as cracks, but try to make sure that the umpires know what a crack is and know what a seam is. Because you're going to start kicking out bats, and a lot of bats out there have seams in them. So I just hope that somebody gets educated out there that could train these umpires. Now, you got to know what a crack is and know what a shark tooth is. And know what a seam is, because it's just something that I think they should put into what they're doing right now, and I hope next year it gets bigger. And I think if we keep bitching and moaning about it, because if you shave a bat, you're playing senior softball, you're a piece of shit. I'm just telling you. And I know a few of you guys out there that watch this channel, and I'm just saying you have a problem. And what really sucks about you is you're the guy that's holding your MVP trophy up, or your All-American trophy up, and you're talking all kind of shit. Well, I hit this and I hit that. That's the part that really chaps my ass. And I know guys out there that do that. That's the reason I'm saying that. You know, well, I hit 850 this weekend. Yeah, you're swinging glass too, you piece of shit. All right. I'm just going to mention it every freaking time. Every week I'm going to try. This is on Wednesday. I am done on next Tuesday. Next Wednesday, I'm going to do another one. Then I'll get back to maybe doing on Fridays. Guys, I was checking to see what the algorithms were, you know, to try to see what I'm going to pull in on Wednesday or what I'm going to pull in on Friday. It really doesn't matter. I might pull a little bit more in on Friday, but not by the hundreds. You know what I mean? And I think the reason is because a lot of you guys like to sit there on a Friday night and watch my shit. That's how come all your wives freaking hate me. Because you're up there doing that shit. I came on at 8, which is later in Florida and earlier in California. But your Florida guys that play up there, your wife is like, you watching that guy again? I heard the shit, you know? So, yeah, I think I might stay with Fridays. Maybe we can get a group of guys, maybe Leroy coming in on after me. He can talk about different topics, not necessarily the topic that I talk about, but different topics. Because I think, and I see this now too, is Facebook, YouTube is blowing up. You have Ed, you know, Ed Rose, is that his name? I think I might have butchered it a little bit, but my Ed Rose over there in Florida, he's starting to do all these talking. He's doing these podcasts. He's going around to tournaments. A lot of the older guys he actually talks to and asks them questions about grips. I watch his channel. I subscribe to his channel. I recommend that you do too. Johnny Bailey has got over 1,000. Chef has got over 1,000. There's a lot of other ones out there. Fat Guy BP, he's up here. Guys, if you want your, here's another thing too. This is going to change. It's going to be smaller, so I'll get more on there. This backdrop, guys, if you do bat reviews, send me a logo or your t-shirt, and I'll put it back here. I'm going to cut your t-shirt up, though. You know, make it smaller where you guys can see everything. You can see that nice bag. A lot of you guys always ask me about that bag. It's a big bag. So there's a lot of other bat review people out there that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, and that's what I preached 14 years ago is I want more of you guys out there doing that shit. And I think this is the time to do it. Throw your workout routine in there, you know. Murray Williams, I'm going to talk about you here in a minute, Murray. And talk about, I actually put you down here. You're in here. The overtraining part. You're in here. So I'm going to talk about you here in a minute. So I will not advertise for you if you're selling a bat, though. If you're pushing your agenda, if you are a rep, I will not advertise for you, because I think this channel is I want it to be for the guys that are doing the reviews, the guys that are doing training, the guys that are doing nutrition. And I'm not saying I'm the whole guy that does this shit. I want other people to talk, because I gain knowledge every time I get on that computer right there. I gain knowledge. So I don't want to be that only guy. I want all of the seniors out there, and mainly I'm focusing on seniors, to actually have a better quality of life. Get a little bit more distance on their bats, on their balls, on the ones on their strength. Get into the gym, get up, do push-ups, do closed grip push-ups. I don't believe in wide grip push-ups, do closed grip push-ups. On a lot of the elder, do slanted push-ups first. If you're older guy, and you're just now getting into it, check with your doctor first before you do anything. Any of these guys say, including me, check with the doctor. Have your heart checked out. Everything. If he gives you the good to go, then do it. There was a guy this last weekend that was with us, and he has sleep apnea. He got the machine and he does not wear it. And I wanted to talk to him so bad because, he throws it off. And you guys got to understand, if you have sleep, he was tired in the day. We're driving around, right? We're just driving around, going to the blind, and he's nodding off. He's drinking an energy drink to try to get going. And I tell you, man, you got sleep apnea? He's like, well, yeah, but I don't wear my mask. I keep pulling it off. Bullshit. Wear your mask. You're going to pull it off. That's the starting period. Took me a year before I kept my mask, but I still wore it every night. It will save your life. I'm telling you right now, if you have sleep apnea, you're going to die prematurely. You're going to die in your sleep because your heart is pumping harder to get oxygen to your brain, and you're not getting breathing down there. So you're actually suffocating yourself. I was doing it 90 times an hour, severe sleep apnea. This guy was doing it 80 times an hour. Stop breathing where you're choking, you're snoring. If you're a bodybuilder, power lifter, if you're a heavy set guy, usually you're going to have sleep apnea because all this muscle here with the bodybuilding guys and just all this fat here with the, I'm sorry, I'm getting into that, but you have, it's a restriction in your throat. So I'm just telling you, I told this guy, and I was blunt with him, you're going to die prematurely in your sleep. You got to tell people that so they get off their ass, dropping a little bit of weight, going to the doctor, getting checked. Right now, I spent the night there. Right now, they stick a damn monitor on around your neck and on your chest. Easy as shit. Go home and sleep with it. If you do have it, go to the freaking doctor. Have them give you one. They're going to measure you right next door. Strap it on. They got nose ones. They got the one that goes across your face, which one I use. Going to save your life. And you're going to lose weight. And you're going to feel better. You have energy during the day. Do what you like to do. Softball. Instead of drinking energy drinks every day, because that's going to kill you too. So a lot of these guys that are doing these YouTube channels, and I hope a lot of you guys, this is the deal too, is a lot of you guys next year, because I'm getting everybody prepared for next year, a lot of you guys start videotaping your games, because the main reason why I started doing this, because 14 years ago I'm videotaping my games, is because I talk the talk, and I want you to see that in my games, depending on how good or bad it is, that I can walk the walk. So it's just not me up here preaching to you about hitting or preaching to you about pitch selection or preaching to you about all that other shit. I'm actually showing you on every one of my games, because I've done 95% of my games all through YouTube, and they're all on there for the last 14 years I've been doing this, 13 years on doing this. What's up, Clem? Happy belated birthday, I think. And it was Trey's birthday too this week. Oh, Bubba's birthday's today too. Bubba Blake. I think I saw him on there. Seen him this morning. He didn't say anything about it. I got to find out on YouTube. So I would recommend a lot of you guys that get out there and do these. Big Chef does it. A lot of you guys that do these reviews, there's not seeing you grip it and rip it in BP. They actually get up there and they're watching your games, because you would be surprised on my games, guys. You would be surprised who sits there and just watches it when they're at home or just away doing something. You'd be surprised on who gets out there and watch that shit. A lot of guys that are snowed in will go back and look at that shit 6 months later. And I know the game's an hour and 15, average game, an hour and 15 minutes long, if you cut it up. Hour and 10 minutes or something that lasts an hour. But usually around that. And they like watching them. They like getting out there and watching them. A lot of guys just can't get out. A lot of guys has an injury. And what are they going to go to? What are they going to go to? They're going to go to the YouTube or Facebook, and they're going to watch shit. And they're going to gain knowledge, right? Because think about it, guys. 14 years ago, there wasn't anybody out there doing this shit. It was everywhere you looked 14 years ago was somebody trying to sell you shit and have some big monster up there hitting 500-foot home runs, hitting the ball 500 feet, 450 feet. This is what this bat will do for you. And then people started coming along going, whoa, let's see what that bat will do for me, because I'm not that big. you know. So that's, I think it's a trend now that it actually has a lot of good people out there that are doing this. Fat guy, you know, you got Jesse over there doing U-trip bats, and he's getting into senior bats a little bit. Hell yeah. You know, and give their opinion on that shit, you know. You have Johnny Bailey out there talking about going up middle, oppo, hitting the ball down, you know, lifting weights. That guy stays in the gym, you know, 24/7, 365 a year. He's in the gym, but look what he does. Look what he does. You know, it's not surprising, guys, when, you know, it's not surprising when you see a guy like that that's batting 900 every freaking tournament. I'm not saying, I'm just guessing, 850, 8 to 900, which is very good. If you're batting in the high sevens in senior ball, you're pretty damn good for that. Major plus, high sevens. It's harder in major plus because you got all this top quality pitchers out there. Chucky being one of them. I love him. One of the best pitchers I've ever faced in my life. And I faced some good ones in my younger day. He's one of the best. But yeah, because they hit a lot. You know, you guys want to just get out to a D-bat and take some BP. You guys want to, you know, looking at my tongue. Wow. You guys want to, you know, guys want to get better, you know, and you don't want to lift weights, hit BP, hit off of a tee. I'm not liking tees, but actually what I actually said in the video a long time ago was I actually think tees create grip strength, you know, forearm strength. So I actually think tees help a person out. Not necessarily just me, and don't want to get a bunch of feedback on this because you're not going to change me, is not so much like your swing because you're not actually taking game swings on a tee. I think it helps with strengthen your arms, you know, maybe a little bit of a lat back here when you're swinging because you're pushing. So I actually think tee work is great in the off season because it builds strength in your forearms, your big forearms right here, which actually will carry over. A lot of you guys that preach, oh, I love a tee, I love it, it makes me do this. Well, no, it actually helps you create fast twitching muscle fiber is what it does. Mainly. Might help you that a little bit, but it's mainly going to create, that's how come I say, oh, the tee is great for off season, for working out, you know. And here's another thing to you too that I want to tell you, just a little, and I'm going to put this on my membership channel. When you work a tee, use a light bat, not a heavy bat. I'll explain that to you on that membership channel. When you work a tee, grab one of these bats that's cracked, pull the end cap out of it, and swing that on the tee. I'll explain that to you later on YouTube. Why, I think, and I've done it for years. Done it since I've been playing ball, 21 years old. And I've done it. Not necessarily off a tee, but I've done it in dry swings. Now, let me start because I'm already into this. Guys, there is something, Christmas is coming up. And I think this would be a great, it's not expensive. Actually, it's on sale right now. This would be a great Christmas gift. If you guys don't know what to give people, you have family members that are, or even you can get it, or you and your wife can get it, you give it to your wife, or your wife can give it to you, is Ancestry DNA has a DNA test. And don't sit there and give me all this bullshit. Well, oh, they're going to clone you. I'm not going to give anybody my DNA. I've heard that shit too. Tommy Clark, I got your message today, Tommy. And a lot of you guys that told me they're gonna steal your DNA. No, I've had that. 2011, I think, is when I did mine. Might be 2007. No, I think it was 2011 when I did mine. And guys, I found out where my family came from. There was some unanswered questions with mine that I actually clarified on my DNA. Because if you look at me, I am white. And I have a Hispanic last name. Velasquez is a Spanish last name. So the great gift is $49, $59 before Christmas. That would be a great gift for a lot of your friends out there. I'm on there too. 23andMe, that's another one. I'm on there. Family Tree, I'm on that one. I'm on, there's a couple other ones I'm on. I'm on like 4 of them. There's an Alamo DNA one that I'm on too, where I downloaded my my DNA onto that Alamo and Ancestry channel too, and I love them. I find out shit that happened. I love history. I love Texas history. if you guys got me talking, I was going to forget this shit too. I love Texas history. I love it more after I did the DNA because a lot of my family in the 1500s came to Texas. And a lot of my family on one of the trees has been in Texas for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. So I find out a lot of information on European settlers coming over here, a lot of information on Mexico coming up, a lot of stuff that you don't know, that they don't teach you in school. I learned it on Ancestry. I'll get off that because I'm going to get too long in it because I could talk about that shit for days. I was hunting and I was tracking an animal with my son. And what we do is we kind of do a little grade and we'll go out and we'll start walking. And I was with the guys from Louisiana, Drew and Brant, buddies of mine that I was guiding that weekend. And we start doing a grade across and we're tracking an animal that had been shot. And we don't get a blood trail. So I'm looking down and I look down, right? This is a pretty good story. I'm looking down, looking for blood, and I can't find it. So I'm looking up, I look down again, I see this thing sticking out of the ground. And it looked like that. So I'm like, what the hell? And I'm in the middle of nowhere. There were 20,000 acres on the Bacon 3 Ranch. A lot of history there, if you ever read into all that shit on the Baker 3. So I see this sticking out of the ground. So I reach down and I pick it up and I grab it and it's hard. And then I pull it out. And it's a spur that was stuck in the ground that fell off some cowboy in the late 1800s. And it was sticking out of the ground just like that. And I pulled it out. I was tickled. I was excited. And then I wanted to know the history on it. So I put it on, all this Texas stuff. And I'm on my Facebook page, I joined all that shit. So I did some research on it. The guy knew exactly what it was. What they would do is they would forge these at a blacksmith place and they'd put them in a big round barrel. And it would just forge them. And it's, let me see the rowel right there. It's probably worn out a little bit and it had spikes on it or whatever. Well, anyway, and cowboys would come by these little trading posts, late 1800s, because they already dated it. And they would pick them up out of there, and they were pretty cheap. You know, blacksmiths would sit there and make them all day long. And it was called the poor man's cowboy spur. And it probably on some guy riding through there at that point with a horse, and just boom, it just fell off and he didn't even know it. So that's freaking awesome. But on that Ancestry DNA, guys, it's a great gift. It's $49, $59 to give to somebody, and I think it'll open up a whole new world on your family, and you can do research in it. A lot of guys out there talking about painted over bats. Back in the, back 2009, 2010, when I started doing this, there was quite a few painted over bats where people would actually get a bat and it was good, but they wanted that wow factor every year. So they would come up with this different paint job and they would actually paint it again. And they would send it out there new and improved. They had some big guy, like I talked about, some big guy out there just boom, hitting bombs. Oh, this is better than last year's, but it just was a painted over bat from that was out there last year. Smart marketing, right? They would say, I tweaked this, or I honed this, or I did these little things to it would make it actually perform better. Bullshit. Now today, they don't do that anymore. I know because we swing them. If it's done, probably 5% of all the bat companies out there, 3% of all the bat companies out there are doing this, but they're going to change a little bit of something. Maybe a little bit of a tune. They're going to change, tweak, what they call them. I call it tuning. Maybe a different paint job, less paint, more paint, more paint, more durability, less paint, more livelier. It's going to crack earlier. Got to think about that too. So maybe they want to push the envelope a little bit. So they're not going to put that, put a thin coat on it, or, maybe put it in a dip. With how they do those dips now, maybe they're going to do a painted or a wrap. They're doing all kind of shit right now. They weren't doing that shit when I started doing this. So, and a lot of them are just experimenting because they don't know. They have somebody in their ear going, the science guy, well, I think you should do this because it's going to do that. And then all of a sudden, okay, bro science guy was here and go, dude, why the fuck did you do that? You made the bat harder. You know, young guy's going to like it. I'm going to hate it because I'm the older guy. You know, my bat speed isn't up there. So it's going to help these guys. It's going to hurt me. Soft barrel bats. If you guys were watching my channel, and I know Short Porch because I talked to them today, talked to him about his bats he sent me. I'm going to talk to you about those here in a minute. But, and I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying, you know, Onyx has started doing it. Where's it at? With this bat right here. We had 2 rounds with this bat, and that was it. It got cold. We can't swing it no more. That's one I'm going to talk about in a minute. Onyx started going softer barrel. Softer barrel. Little bit softer barrel. You know, not as soft as the other ones I just showed you. A little bit harder, but always Suncoast has had that soft barrel. I haven't swung a Suncoast that had that really hard barrel. They had to have that 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. One of you guys said this the other day. None of you guys. Somebody else out there said, you know, I'd like to see what your bat speed is, you know, on all of your guys. Because ain't nobody in there got a 95-mile-an-hour bat speed. Bull effing shit. You're so full of shit, man. And I'm not going to do it just to freaking prove a point. I guarantee you Bubba and Mark Reeves has over 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. It's common with seniors that are in their 60s and 70s. Less common. I understand what you're saying, but I'm talking to seniors from 40, 45, 50. I think when you get in that 55 to 60, you got to be on your game to have that 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. The 55 to 60. So I understand half the shit you're saying, but don't say all seniors don't have it, because they do. And that 55 to 60, you got to be training. You got to be lifting weights to keep it, because it will go away if you don't. If you're not on TRT and you're not keeping your testosterone levels at an optimal level, I'm not talking about blowing it up. I'm talking about at that 650, 700, 750, 800, which mine are, you know, and I check it regularly, your bat speed will diminish, you know. So what we do is, like we train, what we do is when we're taking supplements, you know, over-the-counter supplements, you know, stuff that we can absorb, you know, after we get past that age of 50, you know, because you don't absorb things like you used to, you know. The IV drip, that's how come I do that. I felt good, you know, had a hell of a tournament in Florida, and I felt good. That's why we do that, to keep those levels at that range, that 100 mile an hour. You know, I'm not saying me. Definitely I'm not 100 miles an hour. Used to be, you know. So, and they do on a decline. As you get older, it goes on decline. If you're not taking the supplements, if you're not working out, it goes at a bigger decline. So you're going to lose it faster. So what I try to do is, I try to tell you guys to do is keep it on that minimum, because it's going. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's going. So what I try to do with my guys on all my stuff that I talk about is, let's not make it drastic. Let's just keep it at that easy tilt where I want to be that 65-year-old guy that's got good bat speed, you know. So that's the reason that we talk about all this. But for one guy to get up there and say, none of your guys got 95, I'll bet money I have 2 or 3 guys, you know. Charlie Mueller getting close up there. He got great bat speed. And he's 60, you know. I don't know if he's topping 100. I guarantee he's in the 90s. Guarantee you that. So if it's all you negative fucks, man, I get so mad, but I don't say anything. Just get the hell off the channel. Don't start commenting your shit. Put out your own videos. And I've talked about this for years. Put out your own shit. Let's see what your bat speed is, you know. Let's see what you do. You know, that's how come a lot of you guys, and I always like the chef, and like all these BP guys, they always, you got to have thick skin when you do this. If you want a guy to start doing this shit for 2024, you got to understand, do not reply to comments. Let them go. Let them go. You know, because these guys, y'all praise these guys. There you go. BP, fat guy BP. These guys have the nuts to get up there and put their ass on the line to bring you a review, and you have some dickhead sitting on his computer in his underwear, and he got a chaw in his mouth because he didn't make the fucking major leagues, and he's bitching about somebody. You're pathetic, man. And that's how I envision you. When you say shit like that, or you're downing somebody that's actually trying to give you information, you know, oh, your swing sucks. You know how many times I've heard that shit? I laugh. The guy's putting his ass on the line out there, you know, and not only out there, but this guy shows up to a tournament. And then all of a sudden, here comes everybody. Here comes everybody. And they're over there and they're watching you. You fly out to the outfield and how bad do you look? So that's an extra pressure on you when you're out there. I was playing in Florida and shit. One of my guys looks over and goes, I don't know how you do it. How the hell do you do it? He goes, look at the people out there watching you because you have a YouTube channel, popular YouTube channel. I said, I've done it so long I don't even think about them. It's like when you get in that zone, when you're hitting good, you don't hear anything. You don't see anything. You don't get it. You should never look into the stands when you're hitting, especially if you're hitting good. So these guys, Chef, you know, that guy, a lot of the other, Jesse, you know, they have every eye on them. The pressure is on these guys to freaking hit. You know, that's like I say, all my videos, watch all my videos. You know, you'll see when I talk about things. And I don't brag about my batting average. I really don't. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that talks EVP. I'm not that guy. You know, I don't talk shit. I would hope that a lot of you guys out there that do carry that high batting average, don't say a effing word because people know you're good. They don't have to hear how good you are from your mouth. They know you're good. And that's how come years ago somebody taught me that. And I just shut up. I get out there and hit, and that's it. So I lost train of thought there. I was going to talk about something. But that's a rant. Actually, blood pressure started getting up a little bit. But I just get pissed when a lot of you guys out there start commenting on anybody, because I visit other channels and I listen to them and I watch them and I'm like, somebody says a smart ass comment, you know, and then I picture that old guy that is yelling for the kids to get off his grass when they're driving their bike away. Get off my grass. That's how I picture you, you know. Are you sitting there at night time in your underwear just scrolling through shit and you got to want to talk about somebody, right? You got to be that dick. All right. I already talked about that. Buy, sell, and trade. Buying a bat off Facebook. Make guys, like I talked about before, and I don't know if I got off that. Just make sure that you are aware that there are scammers everywhere. Everywhere there's scammers. So I got 2 bats delivered today. And I was talking to Jeff from the Short Porch. And Lamont's on here too. I think I saw him. This showed up today from UPS. You see that? That was opened up and looked into. Well, I guess they're not a senior player because there were senior bats in here. So they just left it open and threw it on the truck. I don't know if the guy driving it, but he just dropped it off and hauled ass. Or they do it in the warehouse in the mornings. Guys, you know how many of these I have seen or I have got that have been cracked open? I guarantee you 80% of the bat boxes that I get have been done like that. They just look at them and they put them back in there. I want to talk to you guys about that. Make sure that make sure that you get the $200, $250, $300 insurance on all your bats. And when you write it down, you tell them what's in there. That way, when you actually go, because it's stolen or lost, they'll know how many are in there. There was 2 in there. There was 1 in there, and it was a softball bat. You know, a lot of guys tell you not to do that, but definitely do that because I sent a bat to somebody and a curtain rod showed up. But on the paperwork, it said softball bat. And he got a curtain rod in Florida. I took the bat out, put the curtain rod in it. And I got my money back. $300 I insured that thing for. It took about a month to get it back because I got to do an investigation. So, yes, definitely insure your shit. Doesn't matter where. And they all do it. I'm not picking out any one of them. FedEx does it. The post office does it. And United States Postal Service does it. And UPS does it. Now, I'm getting too long. I actually got to look. There's nobody coming on after me. So I'm not going to go too long because I'm going to be like, guys, an hour. I think I'll give you. Guys, Murray Williams. You can overtrain hitting. You can overtrain working out. I learned this years ago when I started powerlifting. Less is more. Believe it or not, less is more. You shouldn't get through hitting and be spent where you have to be revived. You got to drink a lot of water or eat something. You should never hit all the way till you're like dead. You shouldn't work out for 2 hours. I work out for 45 minutes, right? You should never at our age hit 250 balls in one day and come back the next day and try to hit 250 more. Your swing will suck and you will be weak. When you understand that you're weak, when you're trying to hit that much and you understand that you're weak, you're overtraining. Your muscles has not recouped yet. Bigger muscles in your body, it takes 4 days to recoup. You're working bigger muscles, especially legs. You're working bigger muscles. Donnie, how you doing, Donnie? And oh yeah, you too, Julie. So you're working bigger muscles, right? Your smaller muscles, forearms, neck, calves, you can work those every day. You're not going to get spent, right? It's dark muscle fiber. But when you start handling that, white muscle fiber, the bigger muscles, the power, explosiveness, you can't do that 2 days in a row. So you guys out there that love to hit, you're overtraining, you're going to get weaker. I'm going to do a video on that in that membership channel where I talk about that and what I went through as a kid. Because, Billy Blake he's a freak. Back in the 80s, what he hit 250 balls on Monday, 250 on Wednesday, and 250 on Friday, not leading up to a tournament. He would actually do it in training. And then when tournament time came, he would slack off a little bit. And he would give his body time a rest before a tournament, or he would hit a day before a tournament because that's just the way his swing was. He had to hit, but he wouldn't hit 250, At our age, it takes longer. As a kid, it was hard for me to lift bench do bench on Monday and do bench on Thursday just with bench. So I had to do an assistant routine in there. Do big bench on Monday, and on Thursday come back and do a light routine on my chest, mainly dips. So a lot of you guys I see and a lot of you guys I hear are overtraining. So when you get out there and hit in DBAT this time of year, or you hit off a tee and you hit 100 balls off a tee and come back the next day, well, shit, I was pretty good. I'll go out there and do it again. You're losing strength. Your body's not recouping. Your body has to recoup. It has to have nutrition, water. It's got to have supplements, and it's got to have rest, right? Or you're going to go backwards. Your muscles would deteriorate. Not as much, but you know what I'm saying. I wanted to say atrophy, but you'll go back there the next day and you won't feel the same. You get out there and you hit a good round on Monday, and then all of a sudden, from what I hear, Murray, is bad weather's coming in. You only have 2 days to hit. So he got out there and hit 2 days, and then boom, on the second day, he's like, oh my God, I'm weak. And well, you overtrained. You hit too much the day before. Now you need to rest, So just lay around and don't do anything. That way it doesn't damage everything, because you're going to actually get weaker if you overtrain. Then you got to start everything over again. So you're actually not benefiting anything other than you just got out there, play around, and talk, So make sure you guys do not overtrain when you're out there in the off season. Make sure you know how many balls you can hit, and don't hit till your hands bleed. Clem, have a number picked in your head that you need to do, and do it explosive. Concentrate and do that explosive movement every time. And then don't do too much. And then nutrition. Right after you hit, go eat. Wait an hour. Don't just start shoving shit, and don't be shoving sugar in your body, because sugar decreases testosterone. Every time you guys get out in the gym and every time you guys hit, right, your testosterone levels elevate, your HGH levels elevate, right? So what's going to happen is, I can't read all that, Matt, but I'll read it later on. So what happens is your testosterone elevates when you're hitting. So what happens with a lot of you guys out there, drink a Gatorade right after you hit, or drink a sugar right after you hit, what happens is your insulin level spikes, testosterone lowers. So what they tell you to do, what I tell you to do, is right after you hit, wait an hour and then consume protein. Lay off the carbs, then consume protein, right? Chicken breast, baked chicken, you know, a steak, stuff like that. I'm not talking about the rest of the day. I'm talking about now you're going to need carbs after that. Wait another hour and then consume some kind of a carb, preferably not a white carb, a complex carb, not a simple carb. Complex carb is what you need to do. Brown something, brown rice, you know, go out and get whole grain bread, shit like that. Get too long into that. I'm going to start doing a lot of that stuff on that channel of mine. Oh, man. I've already talked about all that. I'm going to talk about bats before I get off here. I'm going to make this a short one tonight. I'm going to try to see what else I have to. Oh, I'm going to, these last couple of ones I'm going to get to. We got 2 balls coming in. One from Short Porch and one from Carlos Vega. We've got a case each, and we're going to test these balls this year. And I've talked to you guys about this when I test things or when I do reviews on things. It's not that one time at all. That's it. You know, we're just going to hit them one time. We hit them a lot. And then at the end, it's going to take a while. But at the end, I'm going to tell you how they perform. We're going to tell you behind the scenes how they're performing. Because if we're doing behind the scenes, we're doing a review on a bat, not a ball. So we'll tell you, hey, that ball's a good ball. Or we'll actually see how far they go, you know, or in what weather we're hitting at. That's another thing too, Trey. You know, you need to put the temperature that we're hitting at. So a lot of shit's going to change for next year. It's going to take a little longer, but then again, you guys be patient with me. So there are 2 balls that we're going to hit. One of them is this USSSA ball right here, Pro M mortar. That's it right there. I know it's backwards, and if you go on my YouTube channel, I'll actually turn it around. But that's one of them that we have. It is I think it's a 44-375 compression. Or it's a 4400. I asked, or he can reply right here. I think I'll show him on there. But that is one of them. Mortar. Motar. Onyx. This is a 44-375, the Energy Plus ball right there. That's the Onyx ball. We have some of these that we're going to actually start hitting. And I got them in. They're brand new, and we haven't had a day where we can take them out and hit them because it's been 50 degrees the whole time outside. Discount codes on my website. Go to my website, seniorsoftballbatreviews.com. On that front page on the top, I have discount codes. And you guys just press on it, push in my discount code. You get good price breaks on your stuff. This is a ball, and I posted this picture. A lot of you guys got, is that what it is? 375 U-trip ball. We'll be hitting that too with senior bats. This ball I took, this is Jeff, with Jeff in Short Porch. This is a ball that I'm going to try to develop. And we're, with Leslie, we're in the testing phase right now. And a lot of you guys are seeing that crease and shit. A lot of you guys were saying it's like the balls they hit in the cages. A lot of you guys were talking about that ball sucks and it's light. It's not light. It's the same grams as this ball right here. It's the same grams as this ball right here. So I know, me being a pitcher, you don't like pitching a lighter ball, right? You don't like doing it. They are the same. So that's one thing I wanted to make sure with them, and they're actually working on it. It'll probably be out next year sometime. They're going to take their time to do it because this is going to be a training ball. This is not going to be something like this. Okay. This is not going to be something like this. You can get out there and blast away. This is going to be a training ball. This is going to be a ball you can hit off the tee. Not going to hurt your bats. It can be a ball you can hit on BP. It's not going to get dirty on you. You know, maybe you clean it off. It's going to last for a long time. Not going to peel on you, hopefully. You know, but we're doing kind of testing on it right now. But it's not like the old shit that you guys talk about that bad is. I wanted to make it, okay, somebody said Tournament Plus, Optima Gold. You older guys, remember what I'm talking about? That's the way I want to make it, without the wobble. Because you remember those Optima Plus were actually hollow on the inside, and they would actually have a big wobble in it, you know, look like an egg. Not like that, but I want to make it perform like that because you train. Too many of you guys out there, yes, waterproof. Too many guys out there because it's a composite core coating or whatever. Too many of you guys get out there and blast away. When you're hitting, try to show how far you can hit it. That screws your swing up. And if you guys are part of that membership channel, you know what I'm talking about. It just screws your swing all up. because you have that lean, right? You're not supposed to have that lean. You're supposed to have that drive, that front shoulder down. These will help in driving that front shoulder down because you really got to cut it. You really got to hit it to make it go far. And it's going to get that spin. You want that Magnus effect where you get that backspin. And Jeff, I want to talk to you about developing you sent me one the other day about a 52-300. So guys can get out there and it's not going to hurt their bats. So I need to call you next week and talk about that when I get back. You know, kind of like the one that you sent me, you know, which is a 44, 300, nothing that can perform. Just something that we can get seniors out there that can hit up north, you know, those guys, because a lot of seniors just don't hit in Florida and California and Texas. A lot of guys are up there and they need balls. This is what I'm looking at. They need balls where they can hit either outdoors. They can go out in 50-degree weather and pitch a ball to them, preferably, hopefully one of these, and it's not going to crack their bat and they can get practice in. Not in the snow. I'm just saying, guys, get out there and start hitting art in a cage, you know, or on a tee in your backyard or in your garage. See a lot of guys out there with tees in their garage. Definitely, yes. I'm trying to see what else I have here before I get to the bats. I only have a few because we're winding everything down. I have a few new ones too that I'm going to talk about. I already talked about that one. We need one more round of this one. I'm just telling you what we need and what I'm waiting for. There's one more round of this one and I'm done with it. I know Carlos is waiting on that. I need at least 2 more rounds on this one because we only hit it the other day a few times. Everybody loved it. I thought it was a hot bat. It's a lot for you. What I think is targeting guys, seniors that he's looking for is that, you know, that lower bat speed, you know, that middle to low bat speed, softer barrel, great performance on this bat. I love the way that bat performs. I did a review on this bat. You know, it didn't rank up there too high. And a lot of guys were telling me that they're getting cracks in theirs. Now, guys, I cracked one of these. The first one that actually came out, I did a shark tooth. But you guys got to watch out on this bat. It'll get and that's the reason I did that. I did it with a knife. You guys got to understand this bat gets a seam in it that runs this way. It just means that it's hot and it's ready to go or ready for us to finish the review. This bat gets a seam on it. So what I do when I check if a crack is a crack, I'm not a paint chip, right? So I'll get, and hopefully I have one right here. I'll get a little knife. I'll open it. And then I'll take it and I'll, where that crack or seam is at, and I'll scratch it. A shark tooth you can see. You'll know what a shark tooth is, right? You can see a shark tooth. All right, okay. But if it's got a seam or something that's going straight, what you do is you scratch the paint off of it and make sure it doesn't go deeper. So I'll get a little scratch like in that one. You know, almost looks like a paint chip, but this is a seam. It's not a crack. And it goes straight. Usually a seam goes straight, crack, kind of a little shark tooth in it, and it'll kind of peel up a little bit. Though that's how I check, with just a little knife, and I'll scratch the paint when I'm doing that. We're going to hit this one more time, and I'll finish the review on it. Very good balance bat. I like the way it performs. I like the balance points because it is a balance bat. It has a 14, wow. It has a 10-8, 10-9 on the hands. So it's heavy on the hands, and it's got a good, decent, but its barrel's a little soft, so it's going to perform for you. That's how come I was talking about, I wish some bat company out there, if you're listening to me, you know, and I think it's going to be one of the new guys that are coming up, Short Porch or California Bat Company, Onyx, that makes a real soft barrel bat. Because a lot of the older guys, you know, aren't getting the benefit that a young guy is getting because he doesn't have that bat speed. Frankie, your brother, texted me the other day about getting a bat. Frankie Kabinka, Gary Kabinka, he's going to start hitting now. So he texted me about getting a bat. I want to invite him out to hit with us. So I'm going to text him before I leave tomorrow. One more round of the AT-18. When you guys get this bat, do not go outside and swing it. I mean, here's the deal too. You guys shouldn't be outside swinging anything this time of year. You should swing at an old wooden bat, or you should swing at a light, preferably swing at a light bat. I'll talk about that too in another video. Not a heavy bat. And I'll tell you why you should never swing a heavy bat in the off season. There are, what am I talking about? There are you never should be swinging a top tier bat, a top 10 bat this time of year. Never start swinging I need to quit reading shit. A top tier bat. Now, this bat right here, I want to talk about this one. It's the AT18. He talked about this bat. The one thing I would tell you is you got to give this bat some time. If you're out swinging it, do not give up on it. What I see a lot of seniors out there doing right now is they're giving up on shit too prematurely. They're not giving it a chance, because this bat, about 150 swings in that area with us swinging it, we hated it. We hated it. 150, 175 swings, it turned into a monster. Clem will tell you he hit one of the furthest balls he's hit out there with this bat right there. So just give it a shot. Let it perform. You got to put in the time. You got to hit it. It's not what they call it, a gamer. You know, it's not even close to being a gamer, because it does make a shitty sound when you hit it, and it doesn't sound good. So, and it doesn't perform. Matter of fact, when we were hitting it, guys threw it to the side and didn't say anything about it. Usually when you have a top performing bat, a lot of guys would actually jump in there and grab that bat, and I'd have to tell them, hold on, we got to give it time to rest, like we always talk about. You know, let it cool down. I'm done with that one. A lot of these bats are going for sale on eBay that I'm done with. I probably got, I'm counting, 25 bats here that I'm going to get rid of. So I might give some away too on that membership channel. I want to try to do that before I leave. If not, I'll do it when I'm in Rock Springs. This is the player. You guys remember that? I think I talked about this bat, or this is a different one. This is the one, remember, this is a different one. It's from Short Porch, Cell Block. And it's the Brandon Murray bat. That's it right there. I think we haven't even hit this yet. Nope, we have not. Oh. This bat's going to take a little longer to break in. It's the Mega. I love the way it feels, thin handle. It's got a 17-ounce end load, a 26-ounce. 17-ounce end load, and you got 8 on the hands, 8, 9 on the hands. Now, this is an end-loaded bat. You can feel it. It has ass, right? You know, it's going to perform for you, but it's at 8 in the hand. So when they said mega load, it's a freaking mega load. Might want to go down and wait when you get it. That's a 26.5 or 26. It was in the 26 ones. I don't know if it's 26.5 because the way Suncoast loads their shit. 2 bats. This is a balanced bat. And I'm sure, want to make sure before I put it up here in front of you, it's a 13-inch barrel, advanced player model. And I did not put numbers on it, but I think it's a balanced bat. Please have the things on it. And it does not. If I'm wrong, then... Oh, I did put the numbers on it. It is a balanced bat. 16 on the end and 9.5 on the hands. This is a 26-ounce. This is the TPS Senior Slugger right there. We're going to start swinging this bat. This is the one where I was sent to me, and then I got yelled at for putting it on Facebook, and they told me that bat doesn't go out till January, and I kind of got the ring ass on them. Like, why did you send me the bat? You know, and I didn't include it on any of the other videos, but this has been sitting here for a month. And finally, January is coming up, so I guess I can say something about it. So this is the Senior Slugger. It's a 2-piece, 13-inch barrel. We are going to start hitting that whenever I let you guys know about it. Actually, I think we hit it the other day. About 5 or 10 swings. And Clem, we hit this one too, and Clem was actually, you know, talking about this the other day. This is a new bat from... I just felt that. I'll check that later. This is the new bat from TPS Louisville Slugger. This is a 2-piece bat. 13-inch barrel again. This is an end load. It has 16.9 on the end, 8.7 on hands. TPS. Finally started loading your hands lighter. Getting the 8s. There's that a baby. This is it right here. This is the Richest Superior, the new one this year. We like this bat. I can tell you right now, we like this bat. It's going to perform. Already it's in my top 10. I don't know where yet, but already it's performing that good in the top 10. You got weight distribution really good. You got 17 on the end, 8, 7 on the hands. End loaded bat. I would even call it a 3/4 ounce because you're in the 8s, middle to high 8s in the hands, 3/4 ounce. And you got your end load at almost 17. That's a big end load. So yes. Remember, last year's I didn't like it too much. I like this one. You know, doesn't have a soft barrel on it though. TPS I don't think comes out with bats with soft barrels. I think they're more in tune with those 45, 50-year-old guys, you know. Now, short porch. I just got these in last couple of days. I'm going to put that one later. Going to be the last one. We have short porch wig popper. The newer one is coming out. This is it right here. Short porch wig popper. It is a 26-ounce, 17 on the end, 8, 9 on the hand. Short porch always loads. California Bat Company always loads. Carlos Vega definitely always loads with Onyx hands in the 7s. Short porch and California Bat Company are in the 8s. And you notice people are starting to follow them. Because it used to be in the 9s. 9, 9, 5, 9, 9, 9, 2, 9, 3, 9, 5. So people are starting to follow those guys because they're starting to catch them. They're putting out new product. The new guys in town. There's going to be some new ones too. You have Matt McGee on here. He actually did a few videos about the bat that he's actually coming out with. Not just him, his group of people, his group of investors that actually will have some bats coming out. This is another, and I think one of these is a balanced. There you go. Wig popper balanced right there. It's 26 ounce, got 16.3 on the hands, 9.3 on the ends. So I explained this in a video a while back, and I got one more bat and I'm done, I promise. I explained this in a video a while back because a lot of the balanced guys are pushing the envelope. They're no longer going in the 10s in the hands. You know, the balanced guys are not going 10.5, you know, the high 10s. You know, the 10.9, 10.8, because that's what they were 5, 10 years ago. What they're doing is a lot of these newer bat companies are starting to go in the 9s, 9.5, and less in weight. You know, the theory was, you know, 10 years ago was big in weight, you know, big hand weight. Well, no, they're going the opposite direction. They're taking them more off here. So they're getting 9s, and somebody started this while back, and it's starting a little trend that they're doing. As they're going 9.3, 9.4, 9.5 on the hands and going to 16 or 16.2 on the end. Better control, better performance. I'm just saying, a lot of you guys can handle that bat. You're going to get great performance on the barrel, especially if it's soft. Balanced guys, older guys, love that soft barrel, especially with the OGs and the 2.0s. You go to tournaments, the guys are over 60, 65, 70. Look at the balanced bats they're swinging. Adidas, Suncoast, OGs, you know, 2.0s, you know, mainly the old Reeboks. All of them have soft barrels. That's like what I'm saying. You got to have a bat company out there that puts out soft barrels. The older guys would go crazy over that shit. And you heard that from me. This is short porch, new pink bat, drib, I think. I don't know if that's a drip. Is that a P on the end or a D? You see it? Drip. Guys, this is the one, and is it not Johnny Dykes? It is. That's Johnny Dykes' bat right there. A lot of you guys were asking me about this bat. And this bat, there it is. 26 ounce, 16.9 on the end, 8.5 on the hands. There you go. And we're going to be hitting these bats next week. Week after, I did look at the weather for next week. It's supposed to be still in the 50s, 60s during the day. So whenever we can, we're going to go out and we're going to start hitting. Okay. Yes, sir. Drip, Johnny Dykes. Thank you, Trey. But that looks like a D. You need to get him to fix that. So, guys, stay safe. This is Wednesday. Leaving town tonight or in the morning. And I'll do another video next week. I get in next Tuesday. And stay safe. You know, get out there. Start doing some, if you're not going to do mine, start doing some kind of workout routine. For a lot of you seniors, do not relax. Keep motivated. Keep going, because it's so much harder next year to come back and play if you just take a little bit of time off. You know, I haven't taken much. I'm doing a light workout routine right now. Then when I get back from guiding next week, throat is dry. Talk too much. When I get back from guiding next week, I start heavy. And that workout routine will be videoed. And that workout routine will be on my membership channel. Thanks, guys.